welcome everybody to episode, oh come on, is it 5? Is it 103? Am I 103? to a brand new 13-year-old podcast about a hobby that's captured people's imaginations for getting on for 60 years. Can you believe that this hobby that it feels like a modern thing is nearly 60 years old? 1958. Christ. There was a game invented called Tennis for Two, which they created using an oscilloscope on an analog computer, and it was basically binatone Pong, but in 1958. Spaceball came 4 years later, and I'm more interested in that because it feels more like a real thing. But yeah, Rich isn't here, so he can't complain about me talking about retro. I can do it as much as I like. Anyway, we're here. It's Ready Player 2. That's our name now, apparently, because all of the market research that we did and the psychologists that we got in to talk about the name change and everything, it didn't come to anything. We're going back to Ready Player 2. We found our old login, and we are now Ready Player 2 again. So hello, we're Ready Player 2. I'm Lee, and they are. Let's go for Elle. This is Elle. Say
Hi.
hello, Elle.
I'm also here. in body and spirit.
Excellent. That's really good. I'm glad. Ross, you're here as well. How's your body?
I'm here as well. Yeah, I mean it's intact, roughly these days.
I'm gonna bring it back down a little bit now because I realise I've started really, really high, and I've got nowhere to go.
Oh no!
So I want to rein it back in a little bit. And now that we've got the confusion out of the name of the podcast out of the way and things like that, let's talk about what we used to cover, because this is something that's interested me in all of the years we've literally done this for 13 years.
Jesus.
I came along as Johnny Come Lately, sort of like episode 60 something, but you two started out. And I believe that, I used to be a listener, and I believe that Ross was Mr. Nintendo.
I was.
He was.
Yeah, Ross's Nintendo News. And now Elle has, Elle started out as the Mistress of Dark and has continued down that vein and have been true to herself. So
I'm not good with change.
Resist it at all costs.
That's why we've gone back to the OG name. I can't do it.
What was Rich? What did he start out as? Can you remember?
He was like you. He had the YouTube profile. He had a little clan of people that he used to like. Yeah, he was the popular one.
He's a resident nerd.
He was the popular one.
He's not popular anymore either. No. That's only because he removed himself from the internet altogether.
To
be fair,
he's done good, to be fair.
Yeah. Relatable.
He is. Well, when I came along, do you remember what my thing was?
Oh, VR?
Yeah, VR.
I was Mr. VR. I was Mr. Future.
Yeah.
Where's all the VR stuff nowadays? Is it still in use, or
it's in a box?
Packed away? Okay.
No.
I have got no. There is an Oculus Quest indoors. I think it's a Quest 2, so it's still supported, but it's like the lowest end of it and not really worth it. I can't be bothered.
What was Beat Saber on? What was that platform? Was that the Oculus?
We had that on the HTC Vive, but you can also play that on.
Yeah, Beat Saber's like
anything.
you get it on Steam. So and if you get it on
Steam,
Steam,
the one came off Vive with on VR.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Careful you don't play it too much, otherwise you get tennis elbow.
You do. The RSI I got from that game.
Like honestly,
back and everything.
Yeah, 100%. You get into
serious.
it. You're
just
a
real problem.
You can especially if you're a wide. Yeah, 100%. Like it's legitimate. You definitely get what you put into it.
This is how much you sweat when you play.
Don't.
VR games like Beat Saber or games that make you move around a lot. So the next time, after I had a long layoff of playing on the Oculus Quest, I'm going to call it the Oculus Quest because I'm not going to say the other name that it's turned into.
Right.
I don't.
Once I'd had a few years off and it sat under a sideboard in the front room, not being used. I thought, oh, I wonder if that still works. So I went and picked it up, and the whole of the faceplate was just fuzzy mold.
Oh, no.
I thought,
No.
I'm not putting that on my face.
I got a silicone, like protective seal, call it, to put on so that when you played like more intense games like Beat Saber, or I can't remember what the gun one was called, where you're like dodging around.
Pavlov.
Yeah, like Pavlov and stuff.
Contractors.
Super Hot.
Super Hot was also good.
Oh, Super Hot's good, yeah.
So amazing. But so that when you were playing the more intense games, you wouldn't like sweat into the nice cushiony material, because honestly that was doing my nut in, especially when we went to the convention and I saw like loads of people sharing the same one, and I'm like, just dripping.
I'm like, wipes are doing nothing.
That's like a wet sponge pressing between people's faces, and I'm like, I'm not going near your absolute germ hive. Grim.
One of my favourite things about that EGX that we did, where Rich and I were showing off in Beat Saber. Rich is another level above me, but we were both pretty good, better than your regular muggles that were not really had not really played it before. Was that we got filmed afterwards, and we saw ourselves on Twitter on somebody else's account playing Beat Saber, and there were people going, "Oh, look at these guys! They're really good.
They're so good."
Yeah. We got it.
That was the first little taste of fame that you needed, Lee, and then you just taken it and run with it.
Yeah. That lit the flame for me.
Yeah.
Lit the torch.
Did you get Papa Nurgle's blessing afterwards? Were you unwell? Did you get con flu?
We all did, didn't we?
I think we all did.
Don't remember. It wasn't such a big deal back then. You just got a bit of a lurgy and didn't really worry about it. It didn't like shut down the planet at that point.
I didn't want to get unwell. I brought us frozen tangerines to vitamin C take. Vitamin C intake, yeah.
See, I would have laughed back then, but now I'm going,
Yeah. No,
sensible.
It's good.
Yeah.
Just there with my oranges like a grandma. I don't like a tangerine.
I think that's why I bought an orange Retroid, actually.
He's got it.
So
For the extra vitamin C.
He's got it. Let's start with that, Lee. Let's talk about it. He got it.
All right,
he got it.
I'm going first, am I?
Yeah.
So I bought this a while ago, or paid for it a while ago, and I thought it was going to take a while to get here, and it surprised me and turned up. This is a Retroid Pocket 6, and it's an Android-based handheld with
it looks cute.
It does,
16 by 9. Yeah, it's like a PSP. I should have got a PSP out to hold it up next to, but it's a kind of a PSP type handheld shape. Like a shrunk Switch with rounded edges, maybe.
Yeah. What size is that screen?
I think it's 6.9, something like that. It's like a big phone screen. It's basically a flagship phone from about 2 years ago, with the power of the chip and everything. But the screen is nice high resolution screen with nice bright colors. It's an OLED screen. It's 120 hertz as well, so you can get your frame rate going on this. You can really get
my TV. I paid $1,000 for.
Yeah, you might have to hold it quite close to your face to get the same sort of effect as a 60-inch screen, Ross. It's got really good sound. It's got amazing controls. It's got a great battery. The ergonomics are really nice. It feels comfortable in my hand. I've got a big grip thing that it slots into as well to make it into a bigger controller. I am blown away with how good it is.
Wow.
But there's
a but. Uh-oh.
This thing is like a thorn in my side. So for the audio listeners, I'm holding up the previous console that I bought, which is a Trim UI brick, and it's more of a Game Boy, sort of miniature Game Boy type thing.
Yeah.
This one is so good. It's so good that it's
is the difference not big enough to warrant the price difference?
it depends what you want from it. If you want something you can pick up and play anywhere, so it's going to be with you, this is going to be it. This will do.
So small.
It is, and it's in your pocket compared to a normal phone. In your pocket, it is tiny. I mean, my phone is almost twice as big as it.
Your phone's huge.
I'm compensating. So this I played Legend of Zelda, the Minish, which I'm always going to call it from now.
Minish.
Which is a great game. I played like the first 2/3 of that game on this. When this arrived, and you can see it's actually loaded up on here now. When this arrived, I saved off the save game off of this one, transferred it onto this one, and started playing it on this one. And it's fine.
Oh, nice.
I had a great time. It's got better controls, like I say. It's got a bigger, better screen. It's more compatible. There's I didn't realize there's like a glitch on this one when you're in the Minish swamp, I think it is, or some swamp. You can walk into the swamp and you start to sink. On this one, you just disappear immediately, and you're fine. You can then walk straight back out of the swamp and you just appear again.
Okay.
But on this one, you see yourself slinking. On the Retroid, you see yourself sinking into the murk.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought that was just how it was until I started playing this one. So it's better. It's got better sound. The ergonomics are fantastic. But I found myself playing the game less because I didn't always have this with me. This is lived in my pocket when I was using this. Yeah, this lives in a dock in front of the TV, or I put it, if I'm carrying it around, I have to put it into a case.
Yeah, and then it becomes like really cumbersome.
It's even bigger and it's bulky. It's not pocket size then. It's not really a pocket size thing anyway.
No.
But
well, it depends. I feel like pockets are a very gendered issue. Women's pockets are amazing now. I can fit like a Switch and a bottle of drink in one of my like skirt pockets. Yeah. So,
that's a trouser leg.
We can hide so much in pockets now.
You're only little. That must be touching the floor.
Oh, there is a photo of me where I've got like a bunch of like squashes and pumpkins that I've managed to fill the pockets of this dress with.
Well, you just walk around Sainsbury's filling your pockets with squashes and pumpkins.
No, it was at someone's wedding.
That's a good plan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. They needed help clearing up the decorative pumpkins and squashes, so I was like, I could take those one trip. But it is cumbersome. I mean, like the Switch is supposed to be handheld as well, and I feel like that's a comparable size to your larger console there. And it's just
that's kind of where I started the Switch. This whole thing, I wanted a portable retro games console. Started with the Switch, and I hacked my Switch so I could load Homebrew on it. Homebrew. And I have genuinely not downloaded any hooky games to play on my Switch. Nothing, Switch games. All of the games that I wanted to play on there are all retro games. So everything up to PlayStation is what I wanted to play. Yeah. And it was just such a ball ache. I couldn't find an easy way to do it. So that just got put back in a drawer and has never been used again. And that was one of the reasons I bought the Switch in the first place. Although we did get a lot of Mario fun out of that. With me,
they're good family party consoles, but they're not handhelds anymore. It's almost like they got it right in the 80s and they've got ever slightly wrong ever since, Nintendo.
I think they've fallen down into a success trap, haven't they? Where they've made something that's so successful that they've got them. It's the Wii U. Is the Switch 2 the Wii U?
Yeah,
kind of. It's probably a bit more successful.
I have such big opinions about the Switch 2 because I'm so over like this continual, you need a new console, you need a new console, you need a new console. My PC is kind of a ship of Theseus, but she has been with me since I was in university. Right?
Bring his broom.
Right? And I I don't want to buy a new Switch. I'm quite happy with my normal Switch that I bought not too long ago. It feels like yesterday, especially when they've got like quite invasive practices and they can just brick your Switch 2 for whatever reason. Oh, I don't feel like having you on this console, little peasant. You got a useless bit of brick. Like,
there's also literally no second-hand market with Nintendo because nothing ever gets cheaper. It's always full price.
Yeah. I can remember actually buying and then selling Breath of the Wild for the Switch. I bought it secondhand. And I remember I actually got a decent price because it wasn't in a case or anything. It was literally someone drove up to my house, walked up to my door, knocked on the door, and handed over just the cartridge. There you go. And there's whatever it was, 30 quid or something. And I think I sold it for a profit. But
like you say, mad.
Yeah, they are. They hold, but that's a good thing. I think that is a good thing that they hold their value. Is that? I know that it's nice if you can later on you can buy games, cheaper to get the same experience a year down the line.
Yeah,
but also you're not losing any money.
It depends. I like to support the people who make games and the people who make art. And I have a feeling, I don't know, I need to research this, but I have a feeling, an inkling, that maybe Nintendo as a platform owner may be taking a sizable chunky chunk out of the game prices.
You got to pay for Reggie's salary somehow. He's still on a retainer.
Reggie, my arch nemesis.
Well, I'm going to bring it. So before you go on a rant, I'm going to bring it back to the Retroid Pocket 6. So, to recap, it's better in every single way than the Trim UI brick, except for that single thing portability, which kind of scuppers the whole deal. But we've started using it in a different way because of that. And I think you've just got to find the way that works for you and use it in a way that fits the format. So I bought it with a dock, and it's a terrible dock. It's not a good dock. It's not like the Switch dock, which is like a taco, isn't it?
You slot it in.
You can't really get it too wrong. I mean, if you really tried, you can get it wrong. But this one has the problem with the Retroid is the USB-C port is off center, so it doesn't feel natural going on. There's no guide, and you just and plus the USB-C port plug on the dock moves forwards and backwards to accommodate different consoles. So you can use any because different consoles are different thicknesses, but it moves. So you have to kind of do this and wiggle it right, and then you look underneath to see and it's not a natural thing. But once it's on there, it's charging and it's connected to the TV with a HDMI, and it's connected to power, obviously. And because it's connected to the TV, you can just turn on the telly and the screen just appears. Now, I've got it set up there with an Xbox controller, and I broke my one game rule by putting probably 100 games on there. Only broke it by a little bit.
Safe space.
You fixed the problem last week, and now you've broken the problem again.
I'll get to that. So I've put some PlayStation 2 games on there, and it emulates PlayStation 2 games amazingly well. So
what PlayStation 2
Thomas
games?
is I've got all sorts on there. There's I've got Shadow of Colossus is on there.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah. Well, this is I chose games like some of the best, most sold games on each
best
platform.
Ofs. Classics.
Best ofs. That's what I'm after. I haven't got time to play every game in a whole catalogue, so I might as well just take the cherry pick the best ones that I want to play. Yeah. Anyway, so I put on Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is not a good game, but it's my son Thomas's favourite game from back in the day because he fell in love with Mia, the lady interest in the game.
Oh, good taste.
And he asked me, he said, just walked into the kitchen a few days ago and said, I want to play Need for Speed Most Wanted. And I had a sudden panic thinking, well, where's the Xbox? Well, what have I done with the original Xbox? And it's in a box somewhere, and I don't even know if it still works. So I could do that, or I could find a PlayStation 2 and we could play it on that. But I know he didn't really like the PlayStation 2 controls. What else is it on? And the updated version of Need for Speed Most Wanted is not the same as the old Need for Speed Most Wanted. There's two different. There's a 2005 and 2012 one, and it wasn't going to be suitable. So, I can emulate it. Found the ROM, which I happen to have from a previous excursion onto the high seas, and copied it onto the Retroid, and it just works. It just works absolutely perfectly. So now he comes in from his day out and he says, I want to play Need for Speed. Press the button on the Retroid, turn the telly on, start the Xbox up, and he's playing it straight away.
Nice.
It's amazing. He's having such a good time.
That's what gaming should be.
Yeah.
Plus, now, if he's playing that there and he needs to go somewhere, but he wants to keep playing it, you can just pick it up like a Switch.
Yeah.
And you're playing it.
Nice.
That's honestly such a good selling point. It's why I love the Switch.
Well, one thing that I don't think the Switch can do that this can, I think this is much more powerful than I'm pretty sure it's more powerful than a regular Switch because it can play Switch games.
Right.
But one thing it can do is I've put on some GameCube games as well, and it will play them in like 3 times resolution. So you're playing at full 1080p. And there's all sorts of systems that it will do this for, with widescreen hacks, and it's all of the software is so mature now that all of this, things like widescreen hacks and stuff that improves the look of the game on a modern screen is so well put together these days and easy to access. It's just such a good experience. I load up the game. I've activated these things in the menu previously, and it just says, 2 widescreen hacks are running now, and the game comes up in 16:9 aspect ratio, looking stunning. It's a brilliant experience. I'm so glad I got it just for that.
That's pretty cool.
I may be convinced.
It's worth the wait.
I didn't really wait though, did I?
Well, no, in the end, actually, no, not that long.
It was it was worth the wait.
Fair play. Value for money, do you reckon? What did you pay overall? Do you reckon you're going to get that value out of it? Let's try a proper review. Let's sound like a proper games podcast.
I think I paid about 250 quid for the whole package. I wouldn't buy the
which is cheaper than a Switch.
There's easy.
You don't need the
there's easy enough
you don't need
games
the
to
grip
get
thing.
hours out of that. I said there's easy enough games that you can play to get 250 hours out of that.
I'm never going to run out of games.
Yeah.
I literally won't run out of games. I will come back to the fixing the games thing at the just before I hand over to you two. 250 quid with you could get that down to about 200 quid. Do I recommend it? No.
Ooh.
And there's a very simple reason for that. Because as soon as I got the notification that it had been shipped, I also got a notification saying that there was a new Trim UI, not Trim UI, Retroid Pocket device called the Retroid Pocket Nova.
8?
Right.
No, it's the Retroid Pocket Nova, and it's smaller, so it's more pocketable. It's exactly the same hardware inside. It's got the same controls, same sounds. The biggest difference on it is the screen, which instead of being 16:9 is 4:3, and that brings the length of the whole unit down to a much more manageable size. The 4:3 screen works with retro stuff so much better than any other aspect ratio, and apparently it's one of the best screens you can get on a retro handheld or retro playing handheld for a similar price. I think it's a bit more money, but if I was choosing now, I would definitely buy that over this for the size and the screen. Definitely. So don't buy this. I wasted my money. Does anybody want to buy a Retroid Pocket 6 for sale for a reasonable £250?
Well, that's the image sorted for the podcast. It's you looking really sad holding it up. Like, don't buy this.
I can do sad face.
Don't buy
there you go.
I've got a good sad face, I can give good sad
Reel
face.
them in.
So fixing
dear.
games.
Yeah. You fixed it last week.
It worked. It did work. But I think it only worked because I chose an absolute banger of a game. It's such a good game for 2/3 of the game. But when you get towards the last third of the game, I got bored, and it's just, you know, there's a stage where you get to where you think, oh, the game should naturally finish here. There's like these 4 elements you have to go after to, you know, to reforge the sword, to kill the Vanti, and get Princess Zelda back. The usual Zelda story.
Yeah.
But you feel like you get to the natural conclusion of the story, and then it goes, oh no, we've got to do a bit more now. We're going to go over here. And you do that bit. That's in the graveyard bit. Oh, okay, and you see the king from the past who gives you something, and so you go back, and he goes, "Oh no, you're not done yet. You go up into the clouds." And I was wandering around in this cloud level where you're just digging through the clouds with your bear claw things, and I'm thinking, why am I still playing this? I'm not getting. There's no story being added here. I'm not getting any value being added, but I'm still just like banging away at this for no good reason. So I put it down, and I haven't picked it back up. But I did. The idea was with the fixing games was to find one of the best games on every platform, and I picked another platform. I thought, I'll play this platform, and it was the PC Engine. The portable PC Engine. Can't remember what it's called. Pocket Color. And I found a game on there, and it was fine. That was it. That's as much as I'm ever going to be able to say about it. And I thought, there's no way I can go on a podcast and go, hey, it's all right. I played it for about 10 minutes and then want to play something else.
Yeah. I mean, at least we can say, like, it's not one of the greats, you know?
Yeah.
I guess it can save people money if we're like, you know, if you have similar taste. Maybe give this one a miss.
After playing Zelda, I just want to find something that's got that depth and that is as big a game as what that was. I want something that's going to give me the same. I don't know. I want it to feed me. I need to be feeded.
I need to be feeded.
I need to feed. Oh, one thing I did do was I got my Game Boy Advance, which is the game that the Minish came out on in the first place, and I put it on there with my save game, and I started playing on this as well. And wasn't as good. So it takes too long to get into the game, so you have to start it up because I'm playing with like a multi-cart thing with the SD card loader thing. You have to go into a menu to select the game, and even if you were playing on the original cartridge, you would have to go into the menu to load your save game. Just those few steps would, and you wait for the menu to load and the splash screen and everything. Just those few steps would stop me playing quite a lot earlier than I did. So just being able to press that power button, like I said, that top feature, and just be straight back into the game is one of the things that made it for me. Anyway, that's enough of me talking about things. I've really eaten up too much time.
It's all right.
It's a conversation, Lee. You're allowed.
It's a conversation. Right, yeah, I'm done. I ended up with it in my notes that I wrote for this. I did write down a few things, because I just forget things.
Notes?
Scripted.
Shit.
I'm not scripted. Well, there was a little bit of scripting at the beginning. Is just a 4-letter swear word. I can't say that though. Anyway,
what's 30 minutes in? It's fine.
Right, who wants to go next?
I'll go next this one. I've got a little quick mobile game I've been playing, and then I'll let Elle go, and then I want to play a game because I teased it last week, and we'll play a little stupid podcast game.
Okay,
we ran out of time.
So I've been busy doing work and stuff, so I've not had time to sit down and play games really. But on my iPad, I've been playing a game called Good Pizza, Great Pizza. I don't know if anyone's heard of this.
I might have heard of this.
I have an iPad.
They also
heard of an iPad.
They also make Good Coffee, Great Coffee. And it's basically you're making orders for what the customers ask for. But it gets progressively more and more difficult as you unlock more ingredients and more things, and the things the pieces they ask for and the toppings become more and more cryptic. That you can choose to ask them like, "What do you mean?" or "Explain it to me again." But every time you ask another question, they lose some happiness. So it's a balancing act of sort of, I'm just going to guess. I think I know what they want. I'll make it like this, and if it's wrong, won't pay me, and all this sort of stuff. It's a stupid little management sim game, but I've really gotten into it the last
really
couple of weeks.
engrossing, can't they?
Yeah, like my daughter's been playing it as well. So we've been playing it together, which is quite cool.
I've got one important question to ask first. Do you have to put cheese on? Does it already? I mean, is that a choice?
Well, they always say if they want it or not, but you can just not put it on if you want, or you can not put sauce on.
If I'm all down with this because I have cheeseless pizzas.
Oh my goodness! Some people ask for just bread with toppings, which is mental. But,
right. So first off, this is available on Apple Store.
Yeah,
Google
it's on
Play,
Android as well. Yep.
Amazon. Whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
Steam and Switch.
Switch. Yeah.
Oh, it's on the Switch as well.
You can play it on the Switch.
Yeah. So there's a little storyline sort of running through it where you're competing with a rival pizza shop across the road, and you want to become the best ovenist in the street. Is what it's called.
Is that a thing?
The best ovenist. Yeah.
That's actually, you didn't just make that up.
No, that's what the tag of the game is. You want to become the best ovenist. But what I think is quite cool, if I hadn't played it for 2 or 3 days, when you open the game up, it cuts to like a news report. And it says, after shutting their shop for a few days, they're now back to like reopening business and stuff. And it's tracking what you're doing, like in a less creepy Big Brother way. It knows when you're playing and when you're not playing. And it's just like mindless fun. Just turning my brain off and just like after a sort of a stressful day at work, just make some pizza for some people. Or like my daughter's playing on her tablet, I'm playing on mine. I'm the day ahead of you, Dad, so she's got more toppings than I have and more complicated ingredients. It's like well, your motor functions are better than mine because you're 12 and I'm 42. So. It's a
you can eat much more real pizza than she can.
Exactly, yeah. I get to limit how much she can have. I can have whatever much I want. So.
I think this is such a good pick because I feel that sometimes we can intellectualize games a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly me, I'm guilty of it. I'm like, give me an artistic experience. But sometimes games like this are really cathartic because Chef Night, is it Cook Serve Delicious? They're all like similar vein, very low grey matter draining
absolutely
games, but it's so nice to get into a flow state if you've had like a stressful day and you can just switch off and just have fun.
Sometimes you've got to turn off the voices, haven't you?
Exactly. That's what gaming's there for, right? Like I could go and play FIFA and get angry at some 15-year-old kids, or I can just make some pizzas. And I'm like, it's more fun, isn't it?
This is actually free on iOS.
Yes.
But on Steam, it costs £8.50.
Oh, blimey. I guess there's no adverts on Steam. You have to have the adverts on iOS. Like every iOS game, you can pay to get rid of the adverts. I'm not doing that. I'm in my 40s. I'm just going to watch an advert. It's fine.
That's a good thing. I think that Steam have gone that way actually, because if the alternative is a glut of games that are full of adverts for free,
you don't want that.
No.
I just turn off. I'll just put it on airplane mode and don't get the adverts. It's fine.
So no microtransactions.
There are microtransactions, but as always, I don't ever look at them. I don't care. I'll play the base game until I can no longer play the base game. And then it wants me to buy stuff, and then I'll turn it off and play someone else.
What? So it's got a story mode.
Yes.
Have you got any idea of how much progress you're making through the game and how much value you're going to get out of it?
Yeah, so it's broken down into sort of chapters. So the first chapter is you're working up to Sausage Fest. And once you get through Sausage Fest, however you survive that, you move on to the next chapter and the next chapter and the next chapter. From what I can see on the chapter screen, there's 5 chapters there, but I'm assuming there's more because I can't seem to scroll any further. But even if there's not, those sort of the first chapter alone is taking me sort of 12 or 13 in-game days, which for me is 12 or 13 days. I'm just playing a day a game and then I'm out. quick 10 minutes, play it here, off I go. So it's there is a story. You're competing with a guy across the street. I assume eventually you'll become best buds with him because he looks like a proper villain. He's got the big mustache. He's got the Wario mustache.
Oh, if he's got a mustache, then he's definitely a villain.
Yeah, he's got the big chef's pizza hat and all that sort of stuff. And a loose story. But what I do like is the characters appear between games. So my daughter also plays the Good Coffee, Great Coffee. She'll have a character appear in her game and say, "Oh, this woman, look at her," and then she'll suddenly appear in my game. It's obviously not linked, but there's a certain number of characters, and you'll see them on a rotation. Yeah,
reusable assets, love them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
don't waste them.
Why aren't the characters different in everybody's games? That's not fair.
So how long have you?
Good fun.
How long have you spent playing the game so far? I know you said like 10 minutes here or there, but
so far I've probably got maybe about an hour and a half. I've been playing it for sort of 2 weeks or so, just in the background. Yeah,
that's really good.
I play it at work on my lunch breaks, just as something to do, rather than just staring at YouTube and.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can. Staring at YouTube is a good thing.
Well, yes, it is.
People earn a living. Yeah. There are other ones available.
I'm sure they're linked. Somehow in the descriptions of this podcast.
We have at least 2 good channels that we can recommend. One of them you may be on already.
Brilliant. All right, so I don't think I've got any more further questions, Your Honour.
I think when we started this podcast, I felt like I needed to play a big AAA game like all the time to have something to talk about. And the older I've got, I can't afford it for one. They're £80, and now this is this is free, something to do. Like brilliant, passes the time, and in a weird way, it's more bonding with my daughter. Like great, she's getting into games. She loves games. I bought her.
You can't get that from spending £50 on God of War of 15 or something, can you? Or Grand Theft Auto 6?
You
definitely can't do it. You don't play Grand Theft Auto 6 with that.
Oh my God!
No, go back to Call of Duty like you used to.
Yeah, child, have unrestricted internet access. We've seen how the millennials turned out, and they've all seemed well adjusted.
Yeah, they're all fine, totally fine.
Do you find that I get the feeling, as an older person, that mobile games are set up to be more of an addiction than other games, than the traditional types of games? They're built that way to try to get you to keep clicking the next thing to make bigger number.
The adverts in them are dangerous as well. So when we first got our daughter, she had a Samsung, so an Android-based device. She'd play one game, and then suddenly she'd have downloaded 15 games just from clicking on the adverts and downloading the game. Yeah, I do enjoy the control that Apple gives you over that. I'm sure it's on Samsung now as well, on Android, but she has to ask us for approval to download any app, so we can say yes or no. I like that sort of control over it. Yeah. But mobile games are built to make you just keep going.
It's dopamine, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's like when, it's any business, right? So in making food, so snacks, they call it snackability, where they're like, people can sit and munch whatever, crisps.
Yeah. I'm hungry, see ya.
Biscuits.
Yeah. You're going to talk about food.
But it behooves them to make something as addictive as they can within the rules.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. My brain, unfortunately, just I can't do it.
No.
It's really weird.
I can't do it on my phone. My phone, my phone's really old. It's a 12 Pro Max. It's a big screen, but it's still too small for my hands. I need to use an iPad to play mobile games on.
I have the opposite problem.
Giant problems.
I have small hands, and it hurts my hands to hold my phone. I'm just like, I don't want to get dents in this.
Yeah, I know. I just turned the sun on.
Did you just reached up and pulled the sun out of the sky?
Giant problems are a thing, unfortunately. But yeah, little fun game. Go and download it if you want to waste a few minutes playing and making some pizzas.
I don't have a few minutes, sorry. I'm not going to play this one.
No,
very often I'll come across the games that you two recommend and I go, whoa, like Happy Cider Par last week.
Yeah.
I did play that afterwards because you can just... It happened to be on my browser when the next time I turned on the computer, I thought, that's the game that Ross recommended, and I gave it a play, and I did enjoy it. But this one, I just see this as a time sink for me. This I'm less inclined to go towards it. I'll probably shy away.
The advantage
right,
of
El.
Solo Power is you can play one round of golf, 9 holes, and you're done. Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're done for the day.
Yeah, bite size. That's all right.
Yeah.
I don't want it sucking me back. Or however you phrase that. Right, El. We need to march on a little bit. So, El, it's your turn. Let's entertain us with your darkness.
Okay.
Is it dark?
Do you know what? I did choose a relatively dark one because I've not spoken about this one in ages, if at all, because it has been a long, long time.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. I think this game came out in 2011.
Wow, this is retro.
It is still technically, I think, in early access.
Jesus.
It is on its 42nd build. I have played over 200 hours on this game.
Wow.
Is it Minecraft?
No. No. God, we're not talking about that here. This isn't mainstream, Lee. So, I like dark, apocalyptic games through which to whimsy. They remind me of real life. And Project Zomboid is one of these scenarios that I am preparing myself for. It's a zombie apocalypse.
Project Zomboid.
Project Zomboid. I love this game. They've recently brought out like animals into it as well, so you can like do a little bit of farming component. But before, because I mean, I played a lot more on the prior builds, they didn't have farm animals. So if you're coming into it, you're spoiled, right?
Okay.
They've done a lot of updates. But it is a survival game. You've got a base building component that I really enjoy. There are a lot of skills building. I think they've managed to tweak it so that you can't speedrun skills like I used to. Your character can develop skills by watching TV. So I used to collect TVs, and then you sit in the room with all the TVs, and all the TVs are giving you the knowledge.
Like The Sims.
Like The Sims. Yeah, this is The Sims, but a little bit more
Apocalyptic
gory.
Sims.
So I like the level of control that you can have over this. It can be a legitimately really challenging game. If you choose to play on the difficult settings or the standard settings. Like, I'm not going to lie, the standard settings are good enough to get you.
Right.
If you just want to have a mosey around and pretend to be God and not be able to die, you could choose that too. I've played this on PC, so there's a lot of customization available. There is a very thriving modding community. I think that's always a good sign for a game, is to have this, like, the developers encouraging you to mod their game.
Yeah,
so
people care about it.
Yeah, like, people really care about it. It's absolutely chock-a-block with mods, right? You got mods for managing your ammo. You got mods that are just to do with, like, aesthetics, skins, and all this kind of malarkey. You can choose to, again, I'm talking about the base game now, you can choose to populate in a specific area. You can choose to host so that you can have your friends come and die horrifically with you. I love this game for pootling around with a couple of mates. I think it's a laugh. I get very frustrated when they want to be really risk accepting and push into the towns and really densely populated areas and just get us all killed. I want to go up into the mountains and live as a woodman. There are so many interesting components of this game that you can spend so much time learning. There are so many skills that one can, like, go and do. I just think it's great. It's a good old laugh. It's a great time.
I'm going to take an objection. You said it's on build 42. The numbering of their builds, it is on 42 currently, but it jumped from build 1 to build 11, then build 14, then build 19.
We don't...
The maths isn't quite a math thing there.
They can build a game, but they can't math. It's called build 42.
Fair enough.
Who knows? I don't know.
Did you say this came out in 2011?
Oh, it had to
15
have
years
been
ago.
like a good long.
I think Wiki says
time ago.
2013 was the first. The
2013.
pre-alpha came out in 11. Yeah.
I think because it wasn't on normal platforms. I think it was on Deseret.
Steam release was 2013. So yeah.
It's
Yeah,
still
but-
£22.49p. That's a really good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That says this is a good game. That if they can keep the price that high, you can buy a 4-pack for if you've got 3 friends.
Cool.
Any of you? I don't know. For £66.99.
Don't worry, I've already
And the other
integrated
thing
most
I-
of Wales into this.
The other thing that stood out to me on the Steam page was the top review, which is it's a bullet list. Spawn in, loot house, loot next house, house alarm goes off. Panic.
Oh my god!
Run into neighbour's house bathroom. Get absolutely ravaged by a horde of 20 zombies holding an orgy on the toilet. New character.
Yeah.
I love this game.
It is honestly, it's some of the musical stings are honestly quite startling, and it's really funny because this is obviously not like a high res, great graphics game for spookiness, but it really does get you at times where you're just there, locked in, everything's quiet, and suddenly goes whoop, and you've got a fucking zombie on your face. You're like, no, please don't. I've spent too long. They won't take me alive. Don't kill me now. I've put too much time and effort in. And I tell you what, I love how it handles like player death, because I have found a great deal of satisfaction tracking down my previous character and killing them.
Oh, you turn
Because you turn into a zombie.
That's clever.
So you're like, roaming around with all the stuff that you had. So if you can find your zombie self, you can just take all the stuff. It's great.
You can get your stuff back as well.
That's a clever.
Oh
little,
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Your own head as a trophy. I know.
No, but you can like take the body. Like, but it's quite heavy. You can take the body. Yeah.
What can you keep it then? I mean, does it persist? Do your belongings persist in the world?
So the belongings persist. The body sort of persists. So you can take the body. It does deteriorate over time unless you change the markings for that. You can use the body for stuff. So some of the mods you have to have a body to like make a cure. Or you could, but like I think there's some mods.
We're all thinking it. Are there those mods out there? Yeah, we're all thinking it.
If there are, good luck to you. This is not it's not a sexy game.
The whole audience are thinking it.
Yeah, everybody is there.
There are other sexier games.
Sexier games.
Yeah, I think it has a very good challenge rating if you are open to learning. Very much like, you're just like, no, I don't like that.
I'm loving the sound of this. This is
good.
I really want to play this, but I've committed myself to not being like a PC gamer. I haven't got the time to be someone who can sit at a PC, because if I sit at the PC where I do most of my work,
which makes sense, you'd never leave, and then you'd become a prawn person.
Yeah, I don't want to be a prawn. I've been a prawn. I don't want to be a prawn again. But I don't mind being a couch gamer, but I've never really been someone who can play games, especially the games that I like to play, which are first-person shooters. I want a controller. I like a mouse and keyboard. So that's all out of the window for me. So this kind of game is appealing, but I want to be able to play it on my new Retroid Pocket 6. It says on their official website that it is available on Steam or on GOG. So I typed into Google search Project Zomboid Android. I'll edit that bit out so I look professional. Don't worry. And it says the robot. It will stay. Don't worry. I'm too lazy to edit it. The robots say that Project Zomboid is not officially available on Android, but you can play it natively on mobile using Zombdroid, an unofficial compatibility layer and app launcher. So I can play it on my Retroid Pocket 6. I'm playing it.
He's going to play it.
Very cool. Can we cross-platform? Because I'll play a game with you. 100%.
It won't need to be. Do you need friends to play it?
No. You don't need friends to play. You can play it on your own.
That's good.
Like, yeah. No, I prefer to play alone.
I'm feeling the pressure now. Sorry, I don't want to play anymore. I'm going in with a pro player. It's too much.
Well, yeah, fair. That's very fair.
It's a bit like when I played Minecraft with you and Rich for the first time. I had no idea what I was doing. You guys were like, just come over here, do this. I don't know what I'm doing. WASD. What's jump?
Let me play in the sand.
It was literally like that. I had no idea.
I'm not a prawn again gamer. So yeah, like I honestly can wholeheartedly recommend this. I've spent a significant amount of time on it and I've had a lot of fun. So this is one of the ones that I've spent a lot of time on. We can put this in the good game pile.
Well, I like if you're in pre-release for so long, you can't be reviewed by outlets either. So there's no reviews for this, but it's been out for 11 years, or for 14 years, 15 years.
Yeah, I swear to God, it was out on Desera in 2011. I swear to God.
It's probably just one of those games that has just grown a community, and that's all it needs. That's all it needs to survive, and the community will just keep growing because people, word of mouth. It works that way.
Yeah.
Go, more power to them. I really like the look of this. Fantastic. Right, so are you happy to leave that one there, Elle? Can we move on?
Yeah, Zambies, good. Yeah.
Done. Excellent. Right. How many L's of darkness does that
we
get?
We never have a scale, Lee. I don't like numerical scales.
The scale moves.
Yeah, we can't put my approval on a scale.
Okay. So 10. Okay. Right, we're almost out of time, but have you got something short? I've got something to talk about. That is
I'm going to finish now. I've got a little game, so you do your short thing and we'll play a little game quick.
I'll go next then. I bought this. This is another games console.
That's bloody massive.
Right. It does look like a tiny
fridge. Oh my God.
What is this?
No, I went to the Retro Collective Cave Museum a couple of weeks ago, where they were having a table sale, and it's getting rid of. There's a lot of people there that were selling all retro type things, and this is a Vectrex.
Oh, what a sick name!
Yeah. So Vectrex, for those that don't know, is a failed games console that came out in 1982. That is based on a vector-based monitor, not an old CRT monitor draws the lines one line at a time. Vector monitor actually draws the shapes. It's basically the same display as Star Wars and Defender in the arcades back then.
Okay.
Single coloured display, but yeah, it's really good, and it's broken, and I get to fix it on my channel. I have a YouTube channel.
Right, that's me done. Channel,
nice.
On YouTube, I just said. Russ, your quick thing.
All right, I've got a game to play. Do you want to play a game quick?
It's always stressful.
In this podcast.
We did.
Do you remember the random game name game?
Random name game.
The amount of cortisol that flowed through my body.
So if any new viewers / listeners,
I might expire.
Yeah.
I've got 11 different genres and then 4 different game names for these guys to pick from.
Wait a sec, let me just get an AI up.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to get an AI. I'll get my whiteboard pens.
So I give the guys 60 seconds to tell me what this game will be in the best way they can describe it. Different game names for both person. Who wants to go first?
Oh God!
Elle wants to go first. She's already got a whiteboard ready.
Okay.
I don't mind.
What I need from you, Elle, is I need a number between 1 and 11.
There's a cat.
7.
7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got a simulation game, and then I need a number between 1 and 4, please.
3.
Okay. 60 seconds. Start the second I finish saying the game title. The game title is Mars Warden.
Ah. 60 seconds. Do I start talking? Is this what I'm doing
go.
now?
You've got 50 seconds left. Go.
Oh, shit. So, this simulation is where you, the citizen of Earth, take your justice back to Mars and stick them back for the War of the Worlds musical.
Okay.
You take on...
30 seconds.
Yeah, the Striders from War of the Worlds. I loved it. This is a base builder, planet colonizer game where you must simultaneously wage war against the Martians and cultivate their atmosphere for our preferences.
Nice. You've got 3 seconds left. I like it.
On the Wii U.
Yeah, sign them up on the Wii U. Right, Lee, same from you. So number between 1 and 11, please.
Hang on a second before we go on. What was this? The first number chose a genre.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So we can just ignore that.
7.
So I've got so you can't choose 7. So 1 to 11, but without number 7 in being involved.
I don't want a sim game.
And then the second number chooses the actual game name. I've got 4 game names for each sim on my screen. So.
Okay, I will choose number 3.
Oh, okay. You got a fighting genre.
Ooh.
And then a number between 1 and 4, please.
But doesn't make any. I'm being pedantic because that's kind of my brand.
Yeah.
But isn't part of the random game name thing part of what you choose the genre as well?
It used to be, but I can't find a website I used to use. So this is a variation on an old style.
I love that you remember the rules, Lee. I was just so unprepared. I'm like, I don't know, I'm just going to talk.
I mean, I can. You pick another number if you want, and I won't tell you the genre.
No.
Just go with the name.
Fighting game's fine. Okay, fighting game.
Okay. And
number. What is it between
1 and 4?
1 and 4. What did you choose, Elle?
3.
You chose 3.
Okay, so I'll have 2.
Okay, so 60 seconds. The second I finish saying the title of the game, and that game is called Vortex Duel.
Vortex Duel is it's a fighting game for a start, which uses the forces of the wind and other things and water. You've got different levels. One's in the water, where you've got like a whirlpool, but you can jump out of the water with your vortex into the air and you become a whirlwind. So you've got different stages. So you've got different levels. It's like parallax stages. So the front one is water, and you can jump out of that onto the earth. And then your characters can defend themselves in different ways. You get different abilities depending in which realm you're in. So what's the other one? You've got air, earth, water, fire. There's fire as well at the back. The last one is fire. When you go too high, when you go too low. So we've got fire, which is the magma, and then you've got earth, then the water, which is Elle's favourite. That's where I would just go into the water. If I'm fighting Elle with this game, I would just go and stand in the water and then
Elemental
I think that's my best one ever.
To be fair, that was a hard. This is hard. Thinking on the fly.
It is. So I've typed my first game names into ChatGPT to see what they would do from this. So Vortex Duel would be a fast-paced, competitive arena action game, arena fighting game, where players duel against gravity-based abilities to outmaneuver and eliminate opponents.
That's what I said.
I mean, pretty close.
I had better, there were more features in mine as well, so I'm better than the robots.
You had different elements and everything.
Okay, yours was Mars Warden, right?
Yeah. Bringing justice to the Martians.
Mars Warden would be a real-time strategy, building command bases and units to protect and expand your presence on Mars. I mean, pretty similar.
Yeah.
You guys are in line with the robots. I like it.
I did take a bit longer to have a succinct answer. I'm like,
you both had 60 seconds. You both got there in the end.
Planet colonies. Let's go.
There we go. And we never used to do this on YouTube, but I think you put polls up on YouTube now, Lee, in the comments? Is that a thing you can do? Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
no.
Who
You
wins?
can do that in live streaming.
Oh no!
Okay.
But yeah, just leave us a comment
Comments.
saying who wins. Who's got
Wins?
the best?
Which game would you
best
prefer to
game?
play? Elle's Mars Warden or Lee's Vortex Duel? There you go.
Vortex Duel. Right. Okay. I'm going to spin up a few extra accounts to give to put a finger on the scale.
Views go through the roof this month. We know why.
Right. I think we're done now.
Amazing.
Thank you guys for a lovely chat once again. I think the outro goes like something like this. Where can people find you on the internet, Elle?
At Escaping IRL, mostly here, but otherwise in your darkest dreams.
This is the best place to find her. Yeah, don't look in your dreams.
Yeah. It really is the best place to find her.
Yeah.
Ross?
You can find me on Twitter. I refuse to call it X, at @rossbell__. And yeah, right here on YouTube. Subscribe, like, hit that bell button, do all the buttons, press them all.
Do you also glare at Tesla drivers?
Yeah, dickheads. Get a proper car.
Yeah, good. Excellent. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Oh, good, yes. I was like...
Right, so we just lost a percentage of our audience, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We didn't need them anyway.
We don't want those
Did
people.
they listen?
Do they listen in there? Yeah, they probably they can do podcasts in their car.
They're not on YouTube.
Right.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you very much for watching this, whatever this was. This was an episode. Rich is on holiday at the moment. I didn't mention that at the beginning. I should have probably have done that. Rich used to be part of this podcast, but he went to another country to get away from
He's
us.
gone to a better place.
Like so many previous hosts. He's gone to join them on the farm.
But he's not here this week, which is why I'm hosting. And but he will be back. I'm not sure if he'll be back for the next one because we're going to try and record a few more of these and fill up your podcast listening. I don't know what do you call the receptacle? Where
We're here to
your
provide
storage. We're here to provide the thing in your that
content
voice in your ear,
needs.
not that voice, the other voice.
The other voice.
So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe the video. It is at this stage of our podcast life, it is incredibly important to us to get comments and thumbs and shares. Tell all your friends, your mum. She'll love it. She will love it. They're gamers as well. Yeah, everybody's a gamer these days. So yeah, thanks for listening and watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Between me and Lee, one of you is your mum's age. One of us is your mum's age. We're covering the mum market.
Send us your mums.